evening, one and all. Monday, the 12th of January, 2026. The first proper live stream of the year, I guess. Richard, good evening, my friend. How are you?
I'm great. That's what I put in my little title. First live stream of 2025 with Paul Thorpe. Obviously, I've done about 20 live streams already, Paul. But I'm just saying.
I'm just a part timer these days, mate. A part timer.
Semi-retired.
Yes, mate. Listen, I've got to be honest with you. Since Christmas, I've really struggled. I needed a bit of a break. I needed to have a week away from everything, And funny enough, a couple of people today have messaged me saying, "Oh, sorry, I haven't been in contact lately, Paul, but this politics lark has been doing my head in, and I've been, trying to steer clear for a week or two." And I kind of felt the same a little bit, Richard. Was feeling a little bit burnt out.
Oh, you get that. I mean, I'm trying to have different subjects, and we're doing a bit of religious stuff, doing a bit of, as you know, I'm now a podcasting superstar, Paul, as you're well aware, and I know you've offered me big money to come on tonight, and I'm going to accept. But
I'll stick the check in the post. I mean, look, Richard, before we get into the chat, and good evening, everyone. I can see you all piling there. 700 people nearly already. Welcome to tonight's live stream, and I'm really sorry that this is the first one of pretty much of the new year. I promise you, touch wood, from tonight I'm back to normal, but I've got a bit of a bone to pick with my cohort here, who I'm very disappointed in, and I'll tell you why. This is a man that I've given a platform to for the last year or so, giving him a big platform to come on and spread his views. He gets on Liam Tuff's channel one time and he has his hair cut, has a bath and puts on a clean set of clothes for Liam. My question to you is, what has Liam got that I haven't?
Well, it's that lovely fine haircut that Liam's got. That's always, that's always good. He's got the charm. He's very personable. He's very polite. And it's just that one-on-one interaction. What can I say, Paul? It was very disappointing, Richard.
Well, actually, I'm sure all the viewers noticed how smartly turned out you was for Liam and not for me. But there you go.
I'm going to share a little secret to all the viewers, right?
Go on.
Before I came on, though I'm a bit of a competitive person sometimes, right? And I thought, well, okay, I've done this video. I want to see how well it's doing on Liam Tuff's site. And I looked just before we came on, and we're probably on about 38,000 views now, right?
Yeah.
24 hours, it's okay. You have bigger ones, you have smaller ones. Then I thought, well, Thorpe, my goodness, he must be up over, 200,000 or something on the one he did with Liam Tuff's.
Yeah.
Don't say anything. Don't say anything to Paul, right?
Go on.
16,000 views.
Shut up.
I'm telling you.
That's not right.
I'm just saying, mate. That's just the way it is.
They're over 100,000, Richard. I don't know what you're looking at. You must have been looking at a short.
You've either got it or you ain't.
Evening, Claire Bear. Good to see you there. Colin first. I bet it's cold in Benidorm. Today has been, in old money, I think about 75 degrees. So it's been nice and warm. What's 75 degrees in foreign language, Richard? Do you know?
Paul, we never get to 75 degrees, so I haven't got a clue. If we got to 75 degrees, we'd have a heat emergency in Northern Ireland.
Let's have a little look. Yeah, hit the like, please, guys. Yeah, that will be truly appreciated. Just a quick one, guys, for everyone that tuned in, just in case you missed this, for anyone that tuned in on our marathon 24-hour live stream on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, what we decided, I had a quick chat with Richard at the end of the stream, and what we decided was that we were going to refund everyone's super chats over the Christmas period. We didn't really want to take them over Christmas Day. That's not what it was all about. So we took the stream down for copyright reasons. We didn't want to invite any problems with YouTube, but we could have kept the super chats, but we decided to refund them. Right, Richard?
Yep.
So thank you to Richard for agreeing to that. Very nice of him. And thank you to everyone that did send in over that period, but it should have never have left your account, hopefully. Right, let's have a little look. Claire Bear, thank you so much for joining us again tonight and modding for me. I really appreciate it. Let's have a little look here. What we got? Alan Smith just tried plugging Counter Media breakfast show on PT channel. It was up for about 5 minutes, then taken off. I don't know what that's all about.
Why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised?
Right, what we're going to get into first, Richard. I mean, look, we'll get into this one a little bit later, but go on.
You know why I'm a consummate professional? As we're talking, Paul, someone in the chat pointed out very, very politely, Richard, it's 2026, not 2025. Of course, what I put was first live of 2025 with Paul Thorpe and Richard. The boys are back in town. So I'm just going to edit that to 2026, just so nobody notices. Just in case anybody notices.
Thank you so much, Karen. Really appreciate that. Debbie Vaughan, hi, Richard. Here's your potential 4'11" steward from the 13th of December event.
Brilliant.
Thank you, Debbie. And thank you, Lindsay, as well. Really appreciate that.
That's Richard, actually good. Paul, let me explain that. Debbie was probably, what happens is, when we get to an event and I realise we probably need about another 30 stewards, then do you remember in the old days when they wanted to recruit people for the Royal Navy? They bought them a beer, and at the bottom of the beer there was like this warrant that they had to go and serve in the Royal Navy. And then if they didn't come and do it, they got hit over the head with a cosh and ended up on a galley, right? So what I do is I press gang people every time I go to an event. It's probably going to stop people coming anywhere near me now, right? So if people want to come up and shake hands with me, there's a good chance you'll end up with a high vis vest on, and you'll be basically patrolling London, making sure that people don't fall in the River Thames. So there you go. So if you just a heads up for the next event.
Talking about London and the River Thames, later on we're going to talk about something completely left field tonight, and I think the viewers will find it interesting. I know you will, Richard, but we'll leave that till later on in the show. Let's get into the topics for tonight. Plenty to get through, and I want the audience to lead us as well where they want to take us this evening. Let's start off with this potential X ban, Grok ban, this AI issue that's going around. Give me your views on it first. Should we have a look at what Keir Starmer thinks first?
Let's have a little look at Keir Starmer. Let's have a
look at Ying Kong Chong Hing Kim Un Jun Starmer.
The great leader.
It's disgusting, and it's not to be tolerated.
Look at his movie. He's not happy, is he? Look.
It's disgraceful, it's disgusting, and it's not to be tolerated.
Look.
X has got to get a grip of this, and Ofcom have at full support to take action in relation to this. This is wrong. It's unlawful. We're not going to tolerate it. I've asked for all options to be on the table. It's disgusting. And X need to get their act together, and we will take action on this because it's simply not tolerable.
I'll tell you what, Richard, if he replaced the word X with the Labour Party, he'd have a good point. It's disgusting, it's disgraceful, it's not acceptable.
It's not acceptable. And they need to get a grip,
Yeah, they need to get a grip.
They need to resign, get arrested, and go to prison. I honestly think these people are. I think we're dealing with one of the most dangerous governments, probably the most dangerous government. And we've had some bad governments, but these people are dangerous. They're warmongers. They hate the British people. They love the international community more than they love the British. They're despicable, Paul. They're absolutely despicable.
Yeah. I've run out of words to describe them, and I'll tell you what, Richard, I don't know, probably I'd see what the viewers think in the chat, but one of the reasons that I've been feeling as low as I've been feeling the last couple of weeks is because of these people. They actually they send me into almost about a depression. And I was saying to, I did a thing with, blimey, my mind's gone blank for a minute. Liam. I did a thing with not Liam Tufts, Liam Galvin. I did an interview with Liam Galvin, and Liam asked me if I'd do a quick interview, and I love Liam. I just said, I'll do it. I'll do it, mate. And I've got a lot of time for Liam. I'd never turn him down. I didn't really feel like it, to be fair. But what I said to him is that, I've been feeling low, but I don't want to push that onto my audience. I don't want that to come up because the poor sods are feeling low enough as it is, without, moaning Minnie coming on and saying, oh, I'm all depressed and all that. But that is the bottom line, mate. The bastards have had me feeling like I don't want to get out of bed. That's what they've done to the nation. There's so many people that feel that way, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I must admit, I'm okay. I'm pretty bullish. I mean, I think we've got the solutions, we've got the answers. I'll be honest with you, right? I'll be more annoyed with the people, the patriots, the people in the patriot movements, than I will be with the Labour Party at the next election if they don't get a grip. Keir Starmer said get a grip. Well, my message to the British people is get a grip, get behind Advance UK, get behind the Unite the Kingdom movement, get behind the pledge. We've got all the tools in the toolbox. Start getting in touch with your cultural Christianity or your real Christianity, whatever it is. Start understanding what British culture is and start fighting back that way. Because look, we can walk around the streets till the cows come home, and it's not going to make the slightest bit of difference. Whereas if we get properly organised, if we do the Unite the Kingdom rally on the 16th of May, right, and we have 1 million people there, and let's say 10% of them join Advance UK as a result of going to that event, right? That's 100,000 people that we've got on top of the probably 50 or 60,000 people that we'll have by the time that rally comes around. That means we have 150,000 members of the party. I want to see 1 million people, like Ben says, if we have 1 million people
everyone.
in Advance UK.
Sorry about that. Go on, carry on, Richard.
Is that what I could hear in the background? Am I?
No. Go on, carry on.
If we have 1 million people in Advance UK, we win the next election. Whether we even get on mainstream media again or not, we win the next election if we have 1 million people. And then that puts a lot of responsibility on Ben and all the team that are leading Advance. I'm just a mere member that's cheering very heartily from the sidelines. But I believe that that Advance UK have the answer, and it's down to the country to give them a chance to do what they need to do. Farage is finished. I know we're going to talk about it later. Should we talk about that now, Paul? Should we go?
Well, we can do. Yeah, we can do. Just before we do, I just want to let people know. Let me just get my WhatsApp messages up. Just so that people know, they can get tickets right now for the Advance UK event in London on the 7th of February. The event is called Restoration, Culture and Immigration. And you can get those tickets over at, I should have done this before the show, to be fair, Eventbrite. So if you go to eventbrite.co.uk and type in Advance UK, you can get tickets for this event. Westminster Abbey, London, England, Saturday, the 7th of February, 1 o'clock till 5 p.m. GMT, and it says Advance UK is hosting an exclusive event in London. Join us for the afternoon of serious discussion. Register now as places are limited. So that's over at Eventbrite, or nip over to the Advance UK website. Go on, Richard. Sorry, carry on, mate.
Yeah, well, I mean that's another option. I mean, but I think if people realise the scale of the potential that we've got and the scale of the challenges we face, then it shakes off the winter blues, and you go, do you know what? We've got a reason to get up in the morning. We've got a purpose. We've got a plan, and all we've got to do is follow the roadmap. Set your faces like flint, follow the roadmap, and do what needs to be needs to be done. Do you want to play that last one? Do you want to play that one by Elon? Because we didn't finish on. We didn't finish on.
We'll finish that before we'll finish that before we go on to Senor Farage and what he's been up to.
So the grok thing. You asked me about the grok thing. Now, obviously, anybody that's producing vile, disgusting, pornographic images, especially some of the stuff that we're talking about, should be prosecuted, right? But that's like going not the kit that they're using to create, but the actual people that are creating the images should be prosecuted. So at the end of the day, grok is a tool. It's like any of the AI stuff. You can get the AI stuff to do what you want it to do. So if dirty, filthy little nonces and incels are creating pornographic images or violent images, especially of children, then they should be taken to task, arrested, and that's it. They should be sorted out. But you shouldn't punish the platform, because the platform is just a tool, and you could make that sort of stuff on Adobe, on the online version of
Yeah,
Adobe.
you can do it anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Richard, I'll be honest with you. I was taking the piss out of my mates 20 years ago on Adobe. Don't worry about that.
Exactly,
So
that's what I'm saying.
it's not difficult. What you got to do is, you've got to sort out the problem. As in, I mean, they have already made a move. I believe Elon's made the move of only people that are paid premium members now can use that tool, and that means. Not that you're paying for the privilege of being able to produce dodgy images, but they know who you are.
Yeah, exactly. So if there's an investigation, they're on about to, and listen, this is the typical thing that always happens, Paul. It's like we were talking about with the firearms. A Hungerford happens, one nutcase does something crazy, and the whole country and the whole nation is completely punished for it. And that's what's unacceptable. I'm getting some feedback there, Paul. I don't know if it's coming from me or coming from you. Just want to double check I haven't got anything open anywhere else. Can you hear that? Can you hear feedback?
No, I can't hear anything, mate. No.
Okay, don't matter.
Hopefully the audience is all good.
Yeah, so the point I'm making is that what's happening here is Keir Starmer is deliberately using this as an excuse to shut down the biggest free speech platform in the UK. It's as simple as that. That's what he's doing. That's what he's trying to do. Not in the UK, in the world, in fact, in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do what's your general feeling on AI, Richard? I'll be honest with you. For me, I'm a little bit creeped out by it at times.
Well, it's like anything. There's massive potential for it, and there's massive dangers with it. And human nature being human nature will always gravitate towards doing something evil with it. Do you know what I mean? So there's a massive amount of good that can be good, but there's also a massive amount of evil. So it depends on whose hands it in. I'm put it this way: I'd rather it was in the hand of Western, supposedly responsible Western people than in the hands of the Chinese government or the Iranians or the Russians, right? So, but of course, everybody has access to AI, and you can build a website, like the dopey little advert says on YouTube. You can build a website in 40 seconds with AI. You really can, So it's a great tool for saving people time. It's like everything. If people aren't doing it and using AI, they're going to get left behind without a shadow of a doubt. In so many different areas. I mean, I don't know about you. I use it to make thumbnails. Now I never design a thumbnail myself anymore. I just get AI to do it.
No, I mean, I'm a fan of AI, but there are elements of it that creep me out. I mean, a friend of mine made a video that of me and sent it to me for a laugh, and it was hilarious. But at the same time, it was a bit, if stuff like that starts appearing on the internet, you wouldn't be impressed.
Are you sure it was AI now, Paul?
Yeah, it's definitely AI, Richard. I was fit in this video. I was fit and raring to go. But I mean, look, I think it's the way forward. It's going to help. It's one of those things that can be used in a wonderful way, but it can also be used in a very sinister way as well. So I think it's something that we're going to, have to keep our eyes on a little bit in the future. But
there's something in the comments there, Paul, about some VHS video from the Soho in the early 1980s or something. I don't know. I don't know what that means. I don't know what they're talking about.
Oh dear. You've already tried to have me once this week, Richard. So you're not going to get away with it for a second time. So.
Oh, well, that was a classic, mate.
Go on, spill the beans. Go on, tell the audience.
Well, actually, what happened?
I'm in the calf, by the way, enjoying my spotted dick, and this pillock's on the phone.
Well, I'll tell you. So anyway, what happened was I was minding my own business. Got a phone call from a mate of mine, known him for years, ex-football lad, ex-policeman, ex-soldier, great guy, Mike, and. Mike says, I've got someone here that wants to talk to you. And I says, who is it? He says, it's a woman. I was like, oh, okay. So anyway, this lovely sounding lady comes on the phone, and she says to me, I've got a message for Paul Thorpe. I was like, okay, what is it? She says, well, last time I made him dinner, and I'm thinking, so my ears pricked up straight away. Last time I made him dinner, where's this going? She says, and she started talking a little bit. I'm not going to what she said, but she started talking a little bit, and then she said how much he appreciated her cooking and what a great guy he was and all the rest of it. And I thought, well, I've got to get in touch with Paul and tell him, tell him the story that this woman, this lady back in England is wanting to get in touch with him. So I phoned Paul up, and well, you tell everyone what I said to you, Paul.
Well, he's going on about, this woman, she's been saying she's been cooking dinner for you and what you've been up to and all this. He's trying to wind me up, and go on, who's it turn out to be?
It was a 90-year-old mother-in-law. But guys, I'm telling you now, I had him hook, line and sinker. I just wish I had Danny with a webcam, because his face would have been like a beetroot. All that lovely colour would have just drained from his face, and he would have looked like Private Godfrey out of 8 Half Hot Mum. Do you know what I mean?
Right, Richard, let's shall we save I think we'll save Farage for later. Let the audience build up. We've got 1,600 people watching. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm super excited to be back. Please don't forget to give us a little upvote. It's completely free and would really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. I never usually ask for people to subscribe, but I'm going to tonight. So if you haven't done so already, please make sure you do. Iran, Richard, what's your thoughts on I know it's not really any of our business as such, but what are your thoughts?
Well, I think what I've noticed is a lot of commentators that were going they were beside themselves when Israel were throwing a few guided missiles about in the Gaza Strip and targeting terrorists, and there was people that were swooning in the streets, and they were screaming and they were shouting and all the rest of it. And those very same people that were the BBC, Sky News, ITV, Tom Bradby with his little rosy cheeks getting all upset about what's happening in Gaza. Strangely enough, it's tumbleweed, Paul.
Yeah.
There's nothing to see here. Nothing
Yeah.
to see. And what's happening as far as I can gather, and again, give Tusi credit. I mean, Tusi's obviously got skin in the game here, literally. He has done a great job of covering this, and he's done more to cover this and probably bring it to the world's attention than the BBC, ITV and Sky News put together. And it's like Dan Button's always saying, the legacy media are finished.
Yeah, they're done, aren't they? They're done.
That's why, and it does bring us full circle back to why Keir Starmer is trying to silence X, because he knows that there's a lot of truth tellers on X, and he's not going to be able to get away with what he's trying to do. But Iran, to me, the people deserve the right to self-determination. They deserve democracy. They have lived under the most horrendous regime since
for a long time.
Paul, I remember. I mean, I was only a kid. What age was I? I think you were about 45. I was about 10 or 11, and and. When Noah was a little lad and all that, I was about 10 or 11, and I remember the Ayatollah Khomeini, and to me, he just looked like the devil. This wasn't. So this is Ayatollah Khamenei, but there was Ayatollah Khomeini, and he didn't he, Paul? He looked like the devil. He had the big black eyebrows. He was all dressed in black. In fact, I think he was the devil, to be brutally honest with you. But I remember him coming to power, and I remember the Americans trying to do a rescue mission. There was a whole lot of American hostages being held in the American embassy by the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, and Delta Force went in a whole lot of helicopters, and it went horrendously wrong, and the helicopters crashed in the desert. And Khomeini went out there to the desert and gloated and just smelt the flesh of the dead Americans and was mocking it. And it's amazing how the rhetoric's changed, actually, Paul, because I was watching a clip from the Iranian parliament today, and they've definitely got more moderate, because today they don't shout death to America anymore. Since the bombing, since America dropped a couple of B2 bunker buster bombs on the on their facilities, it's not death to America anymore. It's down with America. So they've gone from death to America, we're down with America. So
you know what it is.
That's a warning in relations.
Yeah, they've learned about F around and find out, haven't they?
Haven't they just? Well. Listen, I think they're gonna get a big shock in the next few days, and I find it hilarious because I turned on the BBC just for a laugh from time to time, and I had the BBC. It was a local BBC station. And they had this expert in Middle East affairs, and She was saying about how dreadful it was that the Iranian regime was going to be attacked by the Americans, and it was going to push oil prices up, and it was going to close the Straits of Hormuz, and there was going to be chaos and pandemonium. It was pretty much World War III. The world's going to end. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. That Iranian regime needs to be toppled. If they get toppled, it'll be a domino effect. Hamas will not be able to fund their operations anymore. Hezbollah will fall apart. The Houthis will fall apart. And you basically have a situation where there's a lot of stability comes to the Middle East. Now, it's not the only problem that's in the Middle East. There's still a lot of crazy Sunni jihadis. Obviously, the Iranians are Shia, the ISIS, Al-Qaeda types, the militias in Syria, Libya, and Northwest and East Africa, mainly Sunni militias. So there's still a massive global Islamic insurgency, as Majid Nawaz used to call it. But if the Iranian regime goes, it'll be a good day for the world. And I hope it goes very, very soon, because innocent people are getting slaughtered. It's a picture of a beautiful young girl, 23-year-old girl. You know, could have been my daughter, could have been your daughter, could have been our granddaughters. Taken away, shot in the back of the head by the side of the road, and buried by the side of the road. That's one person. Some people are saying there's over 2,000 dead. Some people are saying it's 500 people dead, right? It's going to be probably somewhere between, somewhere down the middle. But the sad reality is that there's a lot of blood is going to be shed, and if the later the Americans leave it to intervene, the more blood will be potentially shed. So let's hope that the Americans and maybe the Israelis have intelligence on where these scumbags are, and they take them out and topple that regime and get a good Western. I was going to say,
I'd like to see the Iranian people do it themselves, in all honesty. But look, Farty Pants here, no, I don't think they can. Farty Pants says, why are the Free Palestine protesters not out there protesting to free Iran? Exactly, 100%. I've got a short video that I've done coming out. I'm probably going to put it out tomorrow morning, so I'm not going to comment too much on that one. I don't want to spoil my video tomorrow. But needless to say, I agree with everything you said there, Richard. And I would say this, which I do repeat in the video tomorrow. I've had the pleasure of knowing a number of Iranian people in my life, in my business life, in my personal life, both men and women, and they are lovely people. They're really, really nice people, and my heart bleeds for the people of Iran, the Persians. They need freedom. They want freedom. They deserve freedom. For God's sake, give it to them. So for all those pro-Palestine mobs out there, why don't you look at another cause that actually is worthwhile? That's my opinion on that. But
actually, Paul, the pro-Palestine mob, Bushra and the Five Pillars guys, they're basically coming in. They're weighing in very, very heavily behind the Iranians. I wonder why.
Exactly. I wonder why. Yeah, exactly.
I wonder, is there a financial incentive there? I'm not making accusations, but I wonder, is there a financial incentive there somewhere? Who knows? Just a bit of speculation. Yeah. But look, there's a lot of, the tentacles of terror run very, very deep, and they run throughout the world. And I tell you what, Paul, I'd love to see Qatar collapse as well. I'd love to see the Americans take. They're talking about taking over Greenland. Tell you what, do the world a favour, take over Qatar and give us all free gas.
Yeah. So let's move on from there. Let's just pop into back into the chat for a moment, Richard. These are over on your channel, Yvonne Flanagan, Counter Media Massive. Thanks, Yvonne.
Oh yes, subscribers. If you're not subscribed to Counter Media, please go across to Counter Media UK on YouTube and subscribe to Counter Media UK, because I'm going to be doing a lot. This year. I'm really going to go for it on all fronts. It's going to be a full frontal assault. So there's going to be a lot going on all my channels. But please go on to Counter Media, because we want to get that up to some good numbers.
Yeah, absolutely. So please do go over there and subscribe to Richard's channel. Sheila Miller, again, this one's for you. I love the lot of you. Thank you very much, Sheila. Anglo-Saxon, thank you. Christ is King, Thorpe. I'll go along with that. And let's have a look. Marty McDowell, brilliant interview, Richard. Love from Larne, Northern Ireland. Thank you for your service.
Thanks, Marty. Bless you, man.
If anyone hasn't seen Richard's interview over at Liam Tuff's channel,
I'll drop the link in here.
It's a wonderful hour or so of Richard talking. I mean, especially if you No,
He's a
seriously.
cheeky get, isn't he?
Seriously, I mean, listen, I love Liam's channel and I watch most of his interviews, but that was maybe because I know you, Richard, but I found that one particularly revealing. Certainly, you let things go on that channel that you've kept to yourself and not revealed on mine. So maybe
Yeah, well, maybe you need to interview me sometime, Paul, because
I should have done. I should do that, shouldn't I?
yeah, we
Really,
could
I should do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if I ever come to Spain or you ever come to Northern Ireland, we can sit down and have a proper chat, couldn't we? Get the cameras.
No,
out
no,
and do
Richard,
something.
you've got to come to Spain. I keep telling you, you're tight.
Well, I'm only
here.
going to come if Mrs. Inman's
35 quid.
I'm only coming if Mrs. Inman's coming with me.
She's invited. I told you,
Okay.
35 quid, EasyJet, or even worse, Ryan Dare.
Oh no,
Maria,
I'm not going to do Ryan Dare. Have to be squeezy jet.
Gladys, thank you so much for that. Layla Cunningham, Richard. I know we spoke about her briefly before the show, and you said, "Oh, I'm not really too interested in, talking about her." But I mean, has she had an unfair crack at the whip this week? What do you think?
Yeah, look, I've watched Layla Cunningham's output for a long time, and I think she is getting unfairly treated. I'm just going to be honest, right? I think she's pretty good. Look, she's a politician. She's a career politician. She's QC, I think, as well, isn't she? So she's from that sort of background. She's not one of us, but she's speaking out against Islam, radical Islam. Now, the problem I have with people that do that are Muslims, my issue is, okay, well, how do you differentiate between the good bits of Islam and the bad bits of Islam? Who's the arbiter? Who makes those decisions? That's the problem the moderates have got. But I think it's great that there are people like her, like Shohab, like Lubna, who are speaking up against the crazy stuff that's going on in our country and against the Islamization. The worry is, Paul, for me, I don't have a worry about Layla. I'm not a fan of Zia Yusuf, as you know, because I don't like the way he behaved towards Rupert Lowe and Ben Habib. But Layla seems to be a fairly straight shooter. She seems very smart, very quick. And are we going to say if somebody's a Muslim they can't be involved in politics? Is that what we're saying? Is that when she's got all this sort of...
Well, there are plenty of people out, Richard. There are plenty of people out there right now and the voice is getting bigger and bigger and bigger that would say, yes, if you're a Muslim, you can't be a politician. What would you say to that?
Well, I wouldn't agree with it because it goes against. And now, what I would disagree with, if you become a politician, I would disagree with people swearing an oath on the Quran. I think if you're swearing an oath in a Christian country, then you have to swear it on a Bible. So I would have a big problem with the swearing.
Would that actually mean anything to them then, though, Richard? Because, I mean, if I swore on the Quran, it wouldn't mean anything to me because I'm not a Muslim.
It's not the point, though, Paul. The point is, this is a Christian country. If you want to stand as an MP and stand in our and sit in our parliament, then you've to put your hand on a Bible and swear on a Bible, and then you find out who the radicals are, because a radical wouldn't do it. If you're just like a Muslim in name only,
would they not? Would they not? You don't think they would?
I don't think they would.
I think they would.
They can use Takia and all the rest of it. I think there'd be a whole hullabaloo. Look, if you want to deal with radical Islam, you ban halal, you ban Sharia courts, you ban cousin marriage, you ban polygamy. When I say ban it, all these things are banned anyway. You start arresting people, locking them up and deporting them for that sort of stuff. That's how you deal with radical Islam. You close down extremist mosques, you monitor what crazy Islamic preachers are saying, you deal with the grooming gangs, you deal with the tribal system, you deal with the election rigging, you deal with the postal voter fraud, you deal with all those things.
Yeah.
If I say I believe in freedom of speech and freedom of religion, then I've got to be very careful, how I think about all this. I mean, listen, everybody knows my position on Islam. I don't need to reiterate. If anybody watches this, because what happened, Paul? Somebody will clip this little clip. Oh, Richard wants loads of Muslims in Parliament. No, I don't. I certainly don't want the Gaza gang in Parliament. I want them, I don't even want them in the country.
Yeah.
But someone like Layla Cunningham, who seems to be on our side. Now, she's in reform. My problem with Layla Cunningham, it probably is more than anything else, she's in reform. That's my biggest problem. If she was in advance, I'd probably be quite, 100% happy with her. The fact is, anybody that's in reform that is supporting Farage's regime, and I think Farage could be just as authoritarian, just as dangerous as Starmer, I would question their judgment. But I wouldn't say because she's a Muslim she shouldn't be in politics. No, I don't think that's right.
Yeah, I've had a little look into her background. What I would say from what I've seen, there's a couple of things here. First of all, I think she is a career politician.
Yeah, of course she is.
I think that is very obvious from her past. What I would say is, and what I can say for sure, is that I know that she has helped a very, very good friend of ours. You probably know who I'm talking about. You may or you might not actually, but she has been responsible for helping a very good friend of ours with a lot of things that shows me the colour of her heart in many respects. And I would say that Layla's probably had a bit of an unfair lashing over the last week or so, but at the same time, I do kind of get what people are saying at the same time, and that's not me sitting on the fence, but you know, when you see the crescent moon tattoo on her arm, etc., it does kind of get you thinking and makes you wonder, and can we really trust this person? But I go back to what I said about the people of Iran earlier on, Richard. I've known many Iranians in my life. They are all Muslim, but they're wonderful people. They're not like the people that we're having trouble with back home. And, you know, if you look at some of the people in the Middle East that say to us, what are you doing letting these crazies come into your country? You're mad, you know, kick them out. They're nothing but problems. Well, they're Muslim too, right?
I know.
So, you know, you can't tar everyone with the same bloody brush, you know.
That's that. I think, you know, by their fruits you shall know them, right? And you've got to look at her fruit. And look, at the end of the day, I did see some stuff that, again, you know, she was maybe playing a bit of the diversity card by the looks of it to get where she needs to get to. Okay, I'm not happy with that. I think if she's there because she's a Muslim, it's wrong. If she's there because she's a good politician, because she can actually take care of business and she can change London, then I don't have too much. Now, obviously, if I was in London and I was asked, "Are you going to vote for Ant Middleton? Are you going to vote for Layla Cunningham?" I'm going to vote for Ant Middleton all day long.
Middleton all day long.
But my point is that she shouldn't be barred from standing because she's a Muslim. If people don't want a Muslim MP or mayor, then they should vote against them.
Let me know. By the way, guys, let us know in the chat. You know, are you a Layla Cunningham supporter, or are you not against? That's the wrong word. But are you opposed to Layla Cunningham, or would you support her as a mayoral candidate? I mean, for me, for Richard, and probably for most of the people in the comments now, Ant Middleton's our man. I would like to see Ant join Advance. I'm going to be honest with you. I told Ant that when I met him. And I've done, you know, there's nothing to change my mind, but I would still personally vote for Ant over anyone else.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I support Ant Middleton all day long over Layla Cunningham all day long. I mean, it's not even but my point is that she shouldn't be barred from standing, Paul. That's my point.
Yeah,
Do you know
I mean? No, I agree with that.
You know,
I agree.
So I'm going to support Ant all day long. Again,
she seems a very capable politician.
She seems capable, like people were saying in the chat there. Because I was looking at some of the comments, they were saying, and it's quite right that she did do this. She accused Dan of being far right and so on and so forth. Now that's not helpful. I'll be honest with you, Paul. I
saw that. Yeah, I just remembered that. Yeah.
What worries me more than Layla, right, is not just Layla. If it was just Layla, okay, you go, okay, you know, we've seen what she can do on GB News. She's a good communicator. Seems to be fighting on the same side as us. But then to go and call people far right that aren't far right.
That's not.
But then again, I'll tell you what. We'll maybe talk about this in another stream. But I'm still very concerned about the ethnonet thing, and I'm going to do quite a few videos on it. I'm going to try and get to the bottom of it. There's a lot of people I'm quite suspicious of now that I think are getting dragged in that direction, and I will name them on my own channel. I'll not name them on yours, Paul. But so the ethno.
Well, I'll be honest with you, Richard. I'm going to be straight with you and the audience now, and I'll do it live. That has also played a role in me being a little bit on the quiet side over the last couple of weeks, because quite frankly, it's been depressing me.
Yeah.
You know, I can't bear any more goddamn splits. You know, I got into this to unify people, and when I see people going off in some crazy direction that's never going to bear any fruits, I think, what the hell is going on? Because united we stand, divided we fall. Simple as that.
Paul, we've been consistent. Tommy's been consistent. I've been consistent since 2017. I wrote a mission statement for Veterans Against Terrorism in 2017, and we were explicit in it. We wanted nothing to do with far right racists. We were looking to bring people together. We were absolutely against Islamic extremism. We were against far left extremism and far right extremism and the globalists. It's always been the four horsemen of the apocalypse. Globalism, far right fascism, proper fascism. It's very interesting if you listen to the rhetoric of Steve Laws. He was attacking the Jews relentlessly through that interview, and treating Andrew Gold with somewhat contempt. And I think, I'll be honest with you, I think Andrew Gold was not the right man to interview him. We probably need to start. I don't even want to give them the credibility of debating them. What we probably need to do is do a few videos where we look at what they believe and we just take it apart line by line. Now, a lot of people won't want to do that because they want to get in the fight, but I don't care. I fought against these people for the last 10 years. I don't have any fear of them. They've got a few trolls online.
It's not the fear, Richard. For me, it's not fear for me. What it is for me is disappointment. Disappointment in seeing people splinter off, trying to create something that is never going to bear any fruits. Whether even if I wanted it to bear fruit, even if I actually wanted it to bear fruit, I'm grown up enough to know that it's a waste of time.
It's I don't want it. One, I think it's evil, right? I think it's wrong, and in the same way I think Islamism is wrong, and I think the far left are wrong. I equally think the racist ethno-nats are wrong. And you see, the thing is, people are now being called a racist as a badge of honor and thinking it's cool. There's a lot of young lads, right? And they're very well educated, very smart boys, very well turned out boys. They're going down that direction. They're children, Paul. I'll just be honest with you. They're children. They haven't seen what I've seen. They haven't seen what you've seen, right? They don't know what they're trying to open. They don't know the Pandora's box they're trying to open. Because if you go down the ethno-nat route, you don't just alienate all the Muslims in the country. You alienate everybody of mixed race. You alienate everybody that's Jewish. You alienate everybody that's West Indian. You alienate everybody that's come from any part of Africa, anyone that's come from China. Because these ethno-nats, if you listen to what Law says, right, he wants everybody gone that's not white Anglo-Saxon, right? And it will never work. But what you will do, you will create by pushing that rhetoric. Anybody that pushes that rhetoric, and I say this, it's on the tip of my tongue to name these guys. And I'd like
Richard, if you want to name anyone, I don't care if you're on my channel or not.
I think Connor Tomlinson is sailing very close to the wind. I think Connor Tomlinson is sailing very close to the wind. I think he's been disingenuous in the way he's presented the civic nationalist point of view, which we'd call ourselves cultural nationalists or Christian nationalists, whatever. I don't even like the term nationalist, to be honest with you.
No.
It's become meaningless, right?
For me, it's about right and wrong.
It's right and wrong, right? And what we've always said, it's what's in your heart. If you love the country in your heart, that's what makes us tick, right? And it's a very simple way of defining people. If we start defining people by colour of skin, then we're in for an absolute disaster. My problem, and I am absolutely 100% on the same page as Tommy Robinson on this. What I am concerned about is radical Islam. Actually, it's just Islam. I think Islam's a very dangerous, destabilizing force in the world, globally. I think it's a dangerous religion, and if we woke up tomorrow and every single Muslim had become a Christian, it would be a day to rejoice, because problem would be solved. Because there's so much blood been spilt by that religion, and the fact that we've imported millions of radicals into this country, it's not West Indian guys that are causing problems with grooming. It's not West Indian guys that are strapping suicide vests themselves. It's not West Indian guys that are trying to infiltrate every strata of society to take it over and to turn our country into an Islamic state. It's not West Indian guys that are basically going out on the streets week after week after week to call free Palestine and call for a global intifada. It's lefties, useful idiots, and I don't think they're even useful idiots. I think lefties are evil lefties and evil Islamists that are doing that on the streets every week. It's not our friends from China.
By the way, Richard, for me,
or Indian Hindus. There was 200 Sikhs on the streets of on the streets of London over the weekend at a block of flats where a wee 16-year-old Sikh girl was getting groomed and attacked. 200 Sikh lads went out there and took a stand. Now, I'd rather have those 200 Sikh lads any day over 200 limp-wristed, pink-haired lefties that would just stand there and watch one of their own get, know what, by these monsters, right? Yeah. So I'm sorry. And I agree. I'd rather stand with the Somali lad, right, that was on the streets of Belfast with me, risking his life day in, day out, that gave up his leave going back to England, his Christmas leave going back to England to come to my wedding in Northern Ireland. I'd rather stand with that Somali lad than with the limp-wristed, flipping, little Spidey Steve Laws, right? End of. I've no time for them. I've no time for ethnonats. And I'll say, and we've stood toe-to-toe with them before. We'll do it again if we have to. Simple as that. Because they're wrong-uns. They're wrong-uns.
I mean,
see, that's why I didn't want to talk about it. I'm got my
no. Look, Richard, that's what it's all about. Look, I mean, look, and everyone's free.
I'll tell the truth, Paul. I'll tell the truth. And I know there's scumbags that will target me because I'm saying this. I don't care, because I tell you what, target me to my face and find out what happens. Simple as that.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion, Richard. There is some other points that we won't bring up tonight, but there are some other points that we should speak about on this subject. I was starting to write a little script for a video the other day, which I haven't actually finished. And during that script, I found myself writing that most of our enemies in this country are white.
Yeah. Yeah.
The ones that I see in these videos, I was watching AUI earlier on, and I was watching, all the boys that get out there and do their thing, these pro-Palestine marches, etc.
Yeah.
The vast majority of them are lefties.
Well, a lot of them. I mean, there is a lot of Muslims there.
There is, but there's a lot of white lefties, amongst those crowds. Yeah. Let's move on, Richard, because we've been going for 47 minutes already. We've got just under 2,000 people watching. Thank you so much, everyone. Good to be back. Thank you, Gladys. I really appreciate that. Debbie Vaughan says, I'm making plans to be in London for the 16th of May. Hope to meet you again, Richard and Paul, for the first time. Thank you very much. And Bess Black, a regular, says Ben needs to be given a platform, hopefully on the 16th, so that millions can hear Advance UK.
I agree.
Ben for number 10. I'll tell you a little secret, right? I don't think anyone's listening. I'll give you a little secret in a second. 1 second. Rob Quince, my disappointment from 2025 is Tuesday. I thought he was with us. Thank you, Rob. Mark Bowman. Happy New Year. If Iran can make changes, so can we. Right, so I had a little call from Ben yesterday. And he said, Paul, I want you to do a little video. He said, I want you to do a little video because we love the working class people. We, Advance UK, they are the backbone of our country, the working class people. He said, would you do a little video for our event on the 7th of February? And I said, yeah, Ben, I'll be delighted to do that. I fired that off to Ben today. He said he likes it, and I'm going to give you guys a sneak preview. I hope Ben doesn't mind, but I'm sure that no one will tell him that I've shown it to you. But this will be played on the 7th of February at the event in London. Go over to the Advance UK website or Eventbrite, get your tickets for that event. Should be great. Let's have a little look at what I came up with as a tribute to our working class. Good afternoon, everyone. It is my absolute honour to have been asked to address such a wonderful audience today, and I thank Ben Habib and my fellow Advance UK members for this opportunity. Now, the amazing people of our United Kingdom have always risen to the toughest of challenges. No task has ever been too great, no order has ever been too tall. And behind our uniqueness as a people, our success, our bravery and stoicism is a very special type of human being. And we often, and quite rightly, celebrate what us British have given to the world, but we rarely recognise the hands that built our nation in the first place and then fought and died to retain it for future generations. Those are the hands of our wonderful and quite unique working class. In modern times today, it's our bricklayers, plasterers, labourers, emergency service workers, those who sweep our roads to keep them clean, and the men and women who rise at 4 a.m. to go to work in the cold and rain every single morning that are no longer celebrated or given the respect that they truly deserve. And in years gone by, it was the working class English longbowmen who saw off the French and who enjoyed their work so much that they managed to drag it out for 100 years. The working class heroes of Waterloo and Trafalgar, and those who gave their lives in their thousands in the fields of Flanders and on the beaches of Dunkirk and Normandy. The working class blood of our brave servicemen and women from 2 world wars that included my own grandfather. Yes, he too was one of that lot. And we should never forget nor underestimate their contribution to our nation, for it is the working class who keep our country alive. They keep it functioning and they keep it moving for those that have betrayed them. But times are changing at last in Advance UK, and with our amazing leader Ben Habib at the helm, finally we have a political party that truly recognises, respects and indeed celebrates the crucial contribution of these proud men and women, both past, present and future. Advance UK really is the People's Party. It's yours, it's mine, it's ours, and it loves the working class people of our nation. There you go.
Yeah, it was good, Paul.
Just a quick, you look like you was going to fall asleep there, Rich.
No, do you know what it was, Paul? I was having to change my headset. I'm getting feedback through my headset.
Is that right?
Changed to a new one.
Is it any better?
So, hold on, mate.
Any better? Let's have a little look.
Let me just get this on. So,
let me get through 1 or 2 more chats. Debbie Vaughan again, thank you for Richard, because he didn't twist my arm on the 13th of December. Charlie Kelly, well said, Richard. I met Layla a couple of weeks ago. She is fantastic and she knows what needs to be done to fix London. Laurie, hope to see many Iranians at United Kingdom in May. That would be really nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, wouldn't it just?
2026 Royal Mail stamp set, Starmer in a bikini. I'd buy that.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Here we go. Here's one I made earlier.
Oh no! Oh,
I put that on my morning show this morning, and unfortunately, I only had 200 people watching. By the time I put that had gone off the screen. I was down to 50 people.
Sharon, good evening, Sharon. Paul, Richard, hi, my big mouth on YouTube. I'm trying.
Thanks, Sharon. Keep going. Keep trying.
Charlie Kelly again. I was at the Reform rally on Friday as well. She's done a fantastic speech. Nothing against Anne. I think they should both team up and unite the right.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think
speak to your leader, mate. Speak to Mr. Farage. You know, he's the one that
Farage has caused so many. You know, listen, Farage doesn't need to do any more to destroy the country. I mean, he's he is the one that's alienated the right and probably, he's pushing people into these extreme positions by what he's doing.
Charlie, can I just say, Charlie, mate, we are, whether you're on the Reform camp or whether you're in the Advance camp, mate, let me tell you something. We're all on the same goddamn side, the vast majority of us, right? The bottom line is this, is that we have a leader that will do what he says and means what he says, and he will walk the walk as well as talk the talk. I'm afraid in Nigel Farage, you have a leader that is leading you up a garden path. We have a real leader. We have another, in my opinion, the best man since Winston Churchill. We have him standing right in front of our very eyes. And I just wish the right would unite, because every single person, probably nearly every single person, not all, but most of the 1,900 people watching this right now will want the same thing. The only thing that differs is who's the best man to deliver it. Well, we know who the best man to deliver it is, and his name's Ben Habib. It's as simple as that. So let's talk about the Islamisation of reform, Richard, for a moment.
Well, it's happening. I mean,
Nadine Zahawi today.
Yeah.
Big surprise.
Well, I'm not surprised because if you notice, I mean, here's the thing, right? If we'd have heard Suella Braverman had joined Reform today, we'd have said, "Do you know what? That's a real coup." Maybe Nigel's got something. Robert Jenrick. I mean, I've got my issues with Robert Jenrick. That anyone that's watched his channel.
No, but their appointment, they're jumpers that would make sense.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So, but he's got Nadine Dorris, right? So let's put the Muslim thing aside for a minute. He's got Nadine Dorris, who is responsible for the internet harms legislation. Now he's got Zahawi, who's responsible for vaccine passports and a lot of the lockdown measures, right? And goodness knows what was in the. Well, we're not even going to go there with that. But so we've got people that have been part of the problem for the past 10 years. So he's got wet Tories, very, very wet Tories coming across to his party. It says everything you need to know. So I'm sorry if you're, again, I know I'm very hardline. If I believe in something, I'm totally committed to it. I'm a die-hard advance UK supporter. If you're in Northern Ireland, right? If you're in Northern Ireland.
God bless Northern Ireland, by the way. God bless Northern Ireland.
Absolutely. Join Advance UK. And also, if you're in Northern Ireland, write to your local representative, write to your local councillors, write to your local MPs, write specific to your local MLAs, and tell them to get a grip of the Commonwealth Games Committee, or whatever it's called, in Northern Ireland, and get the Ulster banner back as the flag of Northern Ireland, because it's been politicised. It's been removed, and we know who's removed it. We know what their agenda is. We want the Northern Ireland flag back, representing Northern Ireland in the Commonwealth Games. It'd be like taking the England flag away from the England team. It's totally unacceptable. And I'm saying that as a proud Englishman. I've lived in this country long enough to know when people start playing games with flags, it doesn't end well. And last time it happened, last time they started messing about with the flags, I think the Commonwealth Games place got all its windows put in. So the bottom line is, we want that flag back.
Do you know what, Richard? I'm going to give you. I'm going to apologise ahead of what I'm going to say now, because some people understand it. Danny is one of them. Danny would go, "Oh no, not another bloody football analogy." But I believe that in life, in general, there are many analogies with football that people understand. And I tell you what, I think Nigel Farage is. This is the way I see him in football terms. He is the manager of a club in the Championship that want to win the Premier League. What he's doing is he's bringing in a load of old has-beens in the hope that they're going to get him promoted. And if they get him promoted into the Championship, into the Premier League, what's going to happen is he's going to end up coming straight back down, because he's signed players that are all over the hill that are only playing for the money, and it's their last throw of the dice, right? The journeyman, right? And that is what Farage is doing with people like Nadine Zahawi, etc.
Let's get it right, Paul. He's just signed Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, hasn't he?
Exactly. I mean, look, hey, at the end of the day,
I
don't know what's. Listen, they're all good players once upon a time, mate, when they had legs, right?
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, he's signing players whose legs have gone. And whose career is over, and they're just coming for a final pay packet.
It is absolutely right.
Nicola, thank you so much. Get yourself a New Year's pint each, lads. I'll tell you what, Nicola, out here, I'll get 3 for that.
Well, that'll do then. You can buy one for me and Julie when we come over.
Fine times. Listen, mate, I've told you, get your bloody arse over here. What
do you know what? The problem is I've got a lot on at the minute, Paul. So I've got a lot of stuff dealing with it.
Can everyone in the chat please say, look, if he's supposed to be my mate, shouldn't he just hop on a plane with his missus, come over? I've even told him I'll pay for an hotel for the weekend for him, but he's like.
You see, here's the thing. Paul won't let me stay in his house, right?
Oh no, I can't have you in my house, mate. I know your farting habits. I remember we stayed in the same hotel room one night.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did, didn't we?
No, we didn't. No.
Did we share a room?
It's not a chance I'm staying in a hotel with you, Paul. I know what you like, mate. You know what I mean?
Never forget, we won't have anything to do with that lot. Reform died the day they said that.
I
Ben, Rupert, have my time. Exactly, fine times. You're spot on. I will not be called, and I will not have my family called that lot by anyone. So they can stick it where the sun don't shine. Hartford, 1998. Paul, thank you so much for the Christmas show. It helped me so much. Thank you so much. I'm really glad it did. Looking forward to seeing Tommy's event in London. United we stand, we divided we fall. Regards, Linford. Linford, God bless you, my friend. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And can I just say that it was our honour to be with you over that 24 hours. I've got to tell you, it was tough at times because, you know, I had family here and my granddaughter wants me attention and, you know, my wife's like, are you going to, and the sodding dog ate me dinner. And that's not even funny. It's not even a joke.
Well, I think you deserved it, Paul. Abandoning your family on Christmas Day. The dog got it was a dog's dinner. It was literally, it turned into a dog's dinner, Paul. That's what happened, mate.
Yeah. Hi, Steve. Love that presentation. Paul says it all. You forgot about the Great Crusaders, though. Yeah, do you know what? Maybe I should have mentioned the Crusaders.
Tell you what, man, I've been looking at some of that Crusader history. They did some. Oh, they did some work. You know, that will be a long live stream. Nigel Farage, thank you. As I said to Winston Marshall last year, we must not alienate Islam. Cue Nadeem Doris Zahawi. Yep, that's exactly what he's done. Yeah.
And I mean, that's the last one for the moment.
That is the big problem with Nigel Farage. He's terrified.
Yeah.
And the establishment are terrified of radical Islam, whereas we're saying, well, look, it's going to have to be dealt with sooner or later. Yeah. And it's not.
Nigel Farage again. At my press conference today, I reassured everyone that our party welcomes all views. Guys, what are you waiting for? Just get yourselves over to the Advance UK website. Screw your Reform membership up. Chuck it in the bin. Go and join Advance UK, the real people's party. Come on.
Well, Paul, it's like we were saying earlier, that the reality is the Reform are being Islamised. You know, Zia Yusuf, it might be soft Islam. Zia Yusuf, if I'm not, do you know what? I'm not 100% convinced Zahawi is a Muslim. Has he actually ever said that?
I'll be honest with you, Richard. He's not been on my one to follow list.
No, I never liked him. To be honest with you. But but I'm not convinced he is. But I mean, either way, it doesn't really matter. I mean, the bottom line is that the party is definitely being Islamised, and it's no coincidence that Farage was sitting down at £25,000 a table dinners in January of 2025. And
mate, he was slagging him off. He was slagging him off when he was under what's his name? Senior moment. No, the last Prime Minister.
Sunak.
He was slagging him off under Sunak, slagging him off.
Of course.
But now he's been signed up to the Grandad's army to try and get him promoted out of the Championship so they can get mullered in the Premier League.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right. I mean, that's exactly what's going on. But I mean, let's see, Paul. I mean, the reality is that we know what people have to do, and let's see if people could step up to the mark and do it. Because
absolutely,
we need to get everybody involved in Advance UK. Everybody needs to sign the pledge. Go to the pledge.org.uk. Pledge.org.uk. Sign up, because we're going to start doing more with that this year. It's a fantastic tool for getting people motivated and getting people on the right page. So we're going to be using it to the max. And
Guna 6181 says, I had Paul's Christmas show on whilst I was cooking, etc., and my 14-year-old was loving it. Brilliant. Thank you very much. That's nice to know. Claire Bear's put the link in for the pledge. Thank you very much, Claire.
Do you know why the 14-year-old loved it, Paul? Because you're going to your second childhood, mate. That's why he loved it.
Mate, do you know what? I'm not sure where I am at the moment, like age-wise. It's like, I don't know. I'm getting to that age where I think I should be, starting to feel my age, but I can't. I still feel like a bloody 35-year-old. Yeah. Well, my back doesn't, to be fair, but my brain does. Right, I'll tell you what, Richard. We've been live for over an hour. I'm gonna completely and utterly go left field. So, if you want to stick on politics for the last 10 minutes of the show, you might be disappointed. But I'm going to talk about something that has really taken my interest over the last few weeks. Really taken my interest.
I'm excited.
Really taken my interest. And I've been laying in bed watching show after show after show. After documentary, one or the other. And it is.
Too much TV is bad for your eyes.
It is. I've been watching and doing a lot of research on the Victorian mystery of Jack the Ripper, right? And it has been a journey, I've got to tell you. I tell you why, I've always been a little bit fascinated with Jack the Ripper and who was he and how did he get away with it, when did he start, when did he finish, etc. And I stumbled across the YouTube channel called The House of Lechmere, right? The House of Lechmere, that's Lechmer.
Paul, just before we do this, Paul, can I ask, see when you were a kid, right? Is it because of Jack the Ripper that you always had to be in before dark?
Well, Richard, one thing I can never be blamed of is being Jack the Ripper because I wasn't born until after he'd stopped. So.
Not long after, though, Paul.
Oh, shut up, you saucy git. No, but seriously, it's been a really, really interesting series of journeys going through all the potential suspects, etc. Really, really interesting. And I'll tell you what I found more interesting was going into London and looking back at Victorian London. What was Victorian London, particularly in the East End? What was it really like to live in the East End back in 1888? What was it like to live outside of London? Where did he potentially come from? Why did he choose that particular area? What venues are still there from the day? What streets are still there? Which streets have been renamed? And the geography of the whole thing. Been super, super interesting. I've watched pretty much every episode of it. And guys, I got to tell you, if you're into a bit of a sort of crime mystery thing, I should highly recommend it. And I will tell you, if anyone's interested, not they probably are, I will tell you who I think did it, right?
Paul, is it any wonder you were depressed, mate? You've
I
been
think it was
watching documentaries about some crazy geezer that was running around murdering hookers in the 1800s. And you wonder why you're depressed.
O'Connor.
Hey?
I think it was Des O'Connor.
Why do you think it was Des O'Connor, Paul?
No, I don't know. I just think it was Des O'Connor.
Well, he murdered some songs.
He murdered some songs, that's for sure. Yeah, Ian Nicholson, thank you. Richard, are you coming to Paul's birthday bash? There you go, Richard.
No comment. I don't even know when it is. When is it, Paul?
Oh, I can't tell you that, Richard. I can only tell me mates that.
Oh, well, I'm not coming then, am I? Ian, I'm not invited, mate. He hasn't invited me in, so I'm not coming.
Laurie, Farage is importing failure into reform. Absolutely agree.
Yep, let him
Debbie,
keep doing it.
Thank you, Debbie. Towards a sangria in Benidorm, Richard. There you go, mate. Look, you've got no excuses.
I don't drink anymore, but I'm sure I can find a non-alcoholic version of sangria in Benidorm.
Charlie Kelly says, my only thing is, if Ben Habib becomes Prime Minister, you'll need people who have had experience being in government. You can't take on the establishment yourself. I think you'll find, Charlie, that you're probably right, but I think you'll also find that Ben has plans. He has some very good plans.
I was listening to someone commenting on what the Americans did before Trump took over in 2025, and they had an operation. I think it cost $200 million just to set up the operation. And they had lawyers working on unpicking all the horrendous laws that the Democrats had pushed upon the United States in the Obama years, in the Biden years. Because when Trump went in the first time, he wasn't prepared for the deep state. And I suppose in a way, I hope, in fact, I'm pretty sure that Advance can win the next election, because I think Reform will have fallen apart before that. But even if Reform do win, and they can't do what needs to be done, then Advance can come swinging in like Tarzan after Reform fail and pick up the pieces and do it right. But he's what he's saying is right, Paul. It's a massive amount of work to do, but it needs to be done. And a lot of people need to be sacked, and I think a lot of people need to go to prison.
Yeah, sorry, Richard. I'm just looking through the chat whilst you're doing my job there for me. Lots of comments about it was Spike Milligan's dad. lots of comments about Jack the Ripper, and I'll have a look through them. But seriously, all joking aside, it's been a great series. And if anyone is interested, go watch it. For what it's worth, I believe that none of the main suspects actually did it. That's what I believe. None of them. I don't believe I don't believe they got it right. They now reckon Jack the Ripper was Aaron Kaminsky. No, some people do, but a lot of people don't. I don't believe it was any of those people. Go on, mate.
It seems to me, mate, that you're leading up to a confession, maybe.
Claire Bear, Jack the Ripper was the King's Doctor. That was another sort of name put forward. I think over the years it's been about 200 names put forward as the potential perpetrator. But my belief is, having watched it all and studied it and had a real good look at it, I don't think anyone knows who it was, and I think it was a very, very ordinary person that just went under the radar, and nobody will ever know. Yeah,
grey man.
Just a grey man. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you go to the House of Lechmere, you can watch it all for yourself. Brilliant, brilliant series. John, thank you very much. Really appreciate it, John. I love our working class, and they do not get enough respect for what they do. Looks like Richard has sorted out the picture after his earthquake issue.
Oh yeah. There was we had a bit of an earth tremor this morning. There we go again.
Is that what it is, Richard?
Yes.
I hope your hands.
It's just the earth
Richard,
moving.
make sure you keep your hands above the table, please, when that sort of thing happens. Otherwise, I get a bit worried.
Always do.
Richard, finally tonight, let's just briefly touch on events in America this week with that lady that was shot and killed by the ICE agent. I've already done a video on it to give you to give the viewers my basic opinion on it. I've looked at some more things since I made that video, but what did you have a take on that?
Paul, I didn't. You know what? It's not even been on my radar. It's like America. Some woman gets shot by cops or ICE agents. I'm like, okay, happens every day in America. She was a white woman, wasn't she? Was she white? Was she a white woman? Yeah. I don't know what it was about. I don't know why it happened. I haven't got a clue. So I'm not going to comment on something I know. So fill us in, Paul, on what you thought.
Well, I mean, look, I've spoken to a couple of police officer friends of mine. One of them's an armed police officer, so obviously I take his opinion very seriously, because he will have been in situations not too dissimilar to that. Look, the bottom line is this. Someone died, which is very unfortunate. It's a mother of 3 children, right? But at the end of the day, she clearly told people before the event that she was going there to disrupt. And watching the video very, very closely, time and time again on slow-mo, super slow-mo, it looked to me like she tried to run the agent over. And people can argue and debate that all day long. I go back to what I said when I was faced with someone who I thought was going to try and kill me when I was robbed. Unless you're prepared to gamble with your life, you don't take the gamble. And I think that police officer decided not to take that gamble. He saw someone in front of him that looked like they was going to try and run him over, and he took the action that he felt was appropriate. Was that appropriate? Well, speaking to my friend who is an armed police officer, he said to me today that they are faced with similar situations, not all the time, but they often come across situations like that, and they don't end up shooting the driver. Yeah. Which I think is a fair point.
I would agree with that too. I think that's that's weird situations like that in Northern Ireland with people with stolen cars, and unless someone had actually been hit, and then if someone's been hit, well, what excuse have you got to shoot the driver if they've just run someone over, unless they're going to plough into a whole lot of people? Yeah. Normally when it's a police officer or a soldier on a road, the car's going to hit the police officer, obviously it's soldiers, I'm talking about Northern Ireland, mainly police officers in England. Because there was a police officer killed a few years ago, I think, wasn't there, that was run over. Do you remember? I think it's some traveller that stolen a car and ran
yeah. And he died, didn't he?
He died, yeah. Now, obviously, police officers aren't routinely armed in the UK. We were armed all the time in Northern Ireland. I had a very, very close call with, there was a mate of mine standing on the road, and there was a stolen Audi Quattro coming, and he was flying through Divis for like all night, and we were trying to stop the car. And my mate stood on the road, and I said, "Look, you stay there, right? And if he hits you, then I'll empty a mag into the car." Right? So, and my mate, to be fair to him, he stood there, he was ready, and this Audi Quattro comes flying down the road. It wasn't terrorists, just joyriders come flying down the road at the last minute, just veered off, went up over the path, and got away. And if that car had hit my mate, I was emptying a clip into him, because we were there just it was like 12 o'clock at night. We're just like, this is just getting beyond the joke. You know what I mean? But so yeah, I think you can be disciplined and not shoot people, unless that car's driving at speed into someone. How fast was she driving, Paul?
Oh, she was stationary, but then floored it. I mean, her partner said, "Drive, baby, drive," and she floored it.
Was he killed as well?
No, he wasn't injured. The police officer wasn't injured, but
no. What about the partner, the guy that was in the car with her?
No, she's with her partner's a woman.
Right. Okay.
She's gone full on lefty.
Right,
Full on lefty.
Yes.
So look, watching the slow motion of the video, for me, she tried to cause him serious damage.
Yeah.
Now, in America, that means that you are likely to be shot.
Oh, absolutely. It's just different out there.
She's an American citizen. She knows the rules. I said in my video, look, I'm not an American, but I know for sure when the police have pulled me over in America, I turn the engine off, put the keys on the dash, and put my hands on the steering wheel. Give them no excuses, right?
Absolutely right.
And if a police officer tells you to stop and get out of the vehicle, you stop and you get out of the vehicle.
Yeah.
Right. So look, is it a shame that she died? Yeah, I don't like to see anyone be killed. It's any death is a tragedy unless there's some kind of paedophile nonsense or whatever. Then I'm, laughing all the way to the bank, right? But at the end of the day, she's only got herself to blame. Quite frankly, she's got herself to blame, and her partner, by the way, who seems to have got away with it scot-free, who said "Drive, baby, drive." She has answers to questions to answer as well, in my humble opinion.
Totally. I mean, again, it's just different rules out there, Paul, and that's why the whole George Floyd thing is so strange. Why that officer that was involved in the George Floyd thing, I think he got a life sentence, didn't he? Did he get a life sentence? I mean, very, very strange. I mean, again, who knows? But yeah, lot of very, very bad stuff happening in the States, in terms of the way the left are fighting against what an elected president's trying to do. And you can understand people getting frustrated, but do you shoot someone for driving a car? I don't know. I can't comment because I ain't seen it.
Yeah, I mean, this comment here, same in Spain, Paul. Yeah, I mean, look, I tell you now, mate, you do not mess around with the police in Spain.
Yeah.
You seriously don't. Anybody that comes to Benidorm for the week on a stag do or whatever and thinks, we're taking the piss here, we're doing, we're like, listen, lads and girls, right? You're not dealing with a Met here. You're not dealing with, whoever. These blokes do not piss around. If you mess them about, you're in big trouble.
And I think that's part of the problem that we've got with the two-tier policing. The police are just terrified. They're terrified of inflaming the mob, and that's the biggest issue. We're talking about the problems with the police in Birmingham and the Maccabee thing, and it was quite obvious that they were just absolutely surrendering to the mob.
Well, that's all come out this week, isn't there?
Yeah, last week, yeah.
It's all come out. It's all come out. We knew it anyway, Richard, right? But it's all come out. It was anti-Semitic. It was bowing to the local radicals.
Yeah.
bowing to the pro-Palestine mob, and you know, I'm sure, like most people, you know, absolutely sick to death of that crap.
Absolutely. No, it's
Excuse me. Let's get through the last of the supers, mate. Marty, Richard, thanks, Marty. Richard, the sports minister, has already wrote to him. Richard, the sports minister, has already wrote to him.
All right. Okay. Good. That's good.
Hartford, thank you. If Farage ever got in, he wouldn't deport the migrants. He's not for us. Jack was a copper. That is why he got away with it. Much love. Regards, Linford. That is possible. Nigel Farage, he's back again. Cheers. Zahawi called me a racist in 2015. So I recruited him today. Howard Cox was too damn polite for my and nice for my liking.
Well done,
Nigel, it's lovely. Nigel, it's lovely to have you on the show. I mean, thank you so much for popping on.
Do us a favour, Nigel. Drop your phone number in there, and we'll have a chat with you about maybe you joining in advance. What do you think?
Yeah,
you know, you'd have to join as a tea lady or something. But
Ian Nicholson, thank you, Ian. I'm inviting Richard to Paul's bash. Richard, tell your missus you'll see her in 3 weeks.
Nah, that ain't gonna happen.
Charlie Kelly, listen, no disrespect to you guys, big love.
Thanks, Charlie. No, listen, likewise, Charlie. Look, you've got
absolutely,
your opinion,
Charlie.
mate.
Yeah, absolutely, mate.
Like I'll always
we're on the same side, brother. Yeah, that's the bottom line.
I'll always put my opinion strongly, but you know, at the end of the day, we if we disagree, it doesn't mean we fall out.
Right, the mystery is solved. Gib Boy, Jack the Ripper was Starmer's toolmaker grandfather. There you go.
Brilliant.
Last super of the night, guys. Thank you so much for those. What do you think the possibility of Rupert Lowe joining Advance UK is? Him and Ben would be brilliant, and Rupert's popularity would boost Advance UK. Julius, you're asking me what are the chances? Let's have a look. What do you think of the possibility? Okay, I'll give it to you straight. I think they are slim because I think Rupert has his eyes on something completely different. That is my view. And I'm disappointed in Rupert. I will say that. That is not a party line. That is just my own personal view. I'm disappointed in Rupert because, like I said, united we stand, divided we fall. We have the best, biggest, most brilliant chance that you could ever wish for. And Rupert is pouncing about, doing whatever he's doing, and frankly, not really making any inroads with much at all, in my humble opinion, apart from becoming a bigger celebrity himself. So, faith beyond fear. The police got battered with bricks by Iranians at the London embassy, not one attempted arrest.
Yeah, I mean, the getting back to the Rupert Lowe thing, Paul. I think there's some wrong-uns around him. I think there's some bad people wrapped around him. Young lads who think they know more than they know, and that's. I think there's ethno-nats wrapped around Rupert. That's what I think. You know,
I must admit, Richard,
but that's my gut feeling.
I must admit, I get that. I get that feeling myself. Evening, Jack. Jack says, what are the chances of Nick Tanconi and UKIP merging with Ben Habib in Advance UK? Jack, I'll be honest with you. I think it's very slim, and I tell you why. And this may not go down too well in certain circles, right? The problem with UKIP is that there's money comes into UKIP, I believe. Richard, am I right? Money comes into UKIP.
I don't know how they're set up, Paul. I mean, and if I did, I wouldn't say because it would be confidential. Anything that was discussed in the.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
But I genuinely can't remember. If I could remember, I wouldn't say.
This is not something that I know. This is something that I believe or I think. So if I'm wrong, anyone from UKIP will be welcome to let me know. Nick could let me know himself. But I believe that money comes into UKIP, and that may be supports people within the party. I don't know. Again, it's not a criticism, but this is Nick's job.
Yeah,
this is his career.
That's exactly right. And you'd be asking him. You'd be
So
asking
you're
him
asking
to
him
basically to give up his income.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I mean,
and that's a problem. That's a problem, and I get that. Everyone needs to earn a living.
Exactly. If he's getting whatever he's getting, I don't know what he's getting, but if he's getting enough just to get by and do the protests and heighten awareness of what's going on in the country, more power to him. They're not going to win an election, right? But if he's getting enough money to be able to run around the country and do demos and shine a light on the problems, I think that's good. As long as people don't actually think they're going to achieve anything and win an election, because they ain't. But at the same time, it's still good that he's doing what he's doing. I think fair play to him. He's got his little niche. Let him do it.
I'll let you go on this one, Richard, and then I'll comment afterwards. Rupert, Nick Tanconi and Paul Golding need to join forces, as Labour will definitely attempt a coalition.
I'm not going to comment on that, Paul.
Well, here's the problem with that, Ray.
Yeah, go on.
Here's the problem is that I don't think Paul Golding would join forces with Ben Habib.
No, I don't think he would. And listen, I don't know what his financial situation is.
He might do, but I don't think he would.
Again, all of these micro parties are basically, the leaders are getting a bit of a turn out of it, because there's people that are paying memberships, supporting them. So any of these people, if they give up that, they're going to lose, like you're saying about Nick, they're going to lose their income. I'm worried about, I'm not worried actually, but I think a lot of energy can be taken out of the way and put into areas that have got no chance of ever changing anything. Whereas what Ben has got and what the people around Ben has got, well, someone just put it in there, but I'm just going to read it now. This isn't necessarily what we all believe, but someone's put, if Paul Golding joins Advance, I'd leave. Golding is a Nazi. So that's just a comment in the chat,
That is what you would face, and that is what you would potentially face. Now, I'm not passing any judgment on Paul Golding. I'm not going down that route.
I'm not going to get into attacking. I've attacked plenty of people in the past. I'm not going to go down the road of attacking people, but I wouldn't be in anything that Paul Golding was in. Simple as that. Just the way it is. Wouldn't have anything to do with it. And that's always been my position. And there's reasons for that.
I'm just going through some of the chat. I see Mike Graham completely ignored my video, calling him out to man up and say sorry. But he obviously knew that I'd made the video, because I watched him the other day with some girls. They was basically slagging us off, myself, Tommy and one or two other people. Let him get on with it. He's getting good figures on his show, I believe. Yeah. Good luck to him.
Again, he's going to make a few quid out of it. But is he going to save the country, Paul? This is
it.
And this is the problem I've got with all these.
Good point, Richard. Good point. Yeah, go on. You're going to get me on one, but you go.
No, all the people that have basically got massive platforms, right? And I think I actually convinced some of them are ethnonats now, right? I'm convinced some of them are ethnonats, because by their fruit you shall know them. The ones that stabbed Ben in the back on the first day that Ben launched the party, there was a YouTuber and he stabbed Ben in the back, and he had people on him. He didn't even have the guts to go on him and do it. I don't think he was on the channel that day himself. He had a little team there on his little channel, his big channel, slagging Ben off and attacking Advance. And I hope that the chickens come home to roost on that one, because if you really cared about this country, you would know that the Ethnonat project's going nowhere. Put all your bigotry to one side. If you don't like people with brown skin, well, suck it up, because if you want to save anything, the only way you're going to do it is with Ben Habib and with Advance UK. And I think that would be I think it'd be great to have a half Pakistani Christian Prime Minister. I think that would be great. I hope it happens, because the ethnonats would choke on it. Anyway, I've just made loads of friends there, Paul.
Yeah, sorry, Richard.
This is a place who just doesn't care.
Richard, I'm just to be honest with you, mate. I really didn't hear most of that because I'm reading the comments.
Probably a good job, Paul. It's probably a good job.
What was I going to say? What was we talking about just before that? Oh, Mike Graham.
Yeah.
Mike Graham. Right. Okay. This is one. Okay. So the other morning, I went onto his channel very briefly. For what does he call his show?
What, Dan Wootton's?
No, Mike Graham.
I don't know. It's
Anyway,
the Mike Graham show.
He
The Mike
had
Graham
about,
show, yeah.
He had about 7,000 people.
Big
watching,
numbers, big numbers.
Right, big numbers. Good luck to him. Good
Yeah.
luck to him. Right. No, no problem. Right. He spent a career building a name and a reputation that has enabled him to get those sort of numbers on his life.
I agree.
So fair play to him. But don't anyone ever come on here or on Rich's channel and slag us off saying it's all about the grift when people like Mike Graham
Yeah.
are trebling, quadrupling, any potential earnings that Richard has or
Yeah.
I have, etc. And that is, for me, in my opinion, that is all about money.
Absolutely.
All about money.
It's just another spoke to his career. Dan, I think Dan Wootton's totally different. Dan Wootton, I believe, is a genuine patriot who loves the country and he's doing it for the right reasons. Genuinely believe that. I watch his show every night and I think he's going to come out strongly for advance, Paul. I think Dan's going to have to.
Yeah.
Because he's seeing what Reform are doing. And listen, Dan's totally burnt any relationship with Reform with what he's with his stand on Layla Cunningham. Now, I didn't necessarily agree with everything he said about Layla, right? But he took a stand and he said, "Look," he says, "this is another Muslim in a top position within within Reform," and he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right, and he got absolutely slaughtered by the mainstream media. So yeah, so I think Dan's a good lad. I like Dan.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Even though he hasn't promoted my breakfast show, just because I'm getting tiny viewing figures. Yeah,
Angelina.
Not even thought about.
Angelina, actually, the last time I spoke to Dan, said, don't tell Richard Inman that we've spoken,
No, I know, mate. I know.
Angelina says, why do you think the patriot YouTuber Christ or Chaos had his channel taken down? Didn't know that was the case. Everything he said made sense. No, I'm not. To be honest with you. Oh, actually, is that the black guy?
Don't know.
I think it's the black guy.
See if we can find it. Christ, okay.
Well, he's been taken down.
No,
Richard.
I know, but he might have some other.
Oh, I see what you
stuff,
mean.
Come on, Paul, switch on.
Yeah, Christ or Chaos. I'm sure that was the black gentleman, and he was very good as well.
He's got a website. Christ or Chaos. I don't know if this is the same guy. Archives. No, that's an old website.
Any luck?
Can't really see what's going on. There's nothing. There's no news up there about what's happened to him.
Charlie, Starmer is a disgrace, refusing to ban the IRGC. Charlie, I've got a video coming out on that tomorrow morning. Thank you for bringing that up. I've made a little video on that.
Scandalous.
Absolutely scandalous. You'll get my views on that tomorrow. Richard, it's been a great show.
It's been great. It's been absolutely fantastic. I'm looking. Christ or Chaos. Is that Village Church? Is that the same one? Because that channel's still there. But
Richard is auditioning for his trip to Benidorm. He's trying his. He's looking at the mankinis.
And it's not to be tolerated.
let's have a bit of Elon.
To get a grip of this. And Ofcom have at full support to take action in relation to this. This is wrong. It's unlawful. We're not going to tolerate it. I've asked for all options to be on the table. It's disgusting. And X need to get their act together, and we will take action on this because it's simply not tolerable.
I hate him.
I
know.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Go on. Get out of here.
Get Elon on, Paul. Show the difference between
used to
him and
be
Elon.
a left or liberal value, and yet we see from the in quotes left a desire to actually censor, and that seems crazy. I mean, I think we should be extremely concerned about anything that undermines the First Amendment. There's a reason for the First Amendment. The First Amendment is because people came from countries where they could not speak freely, and where saying certain things would get you thrown into prison. And they were like, well, we don't want that here. And by the way, in many parts of the world, including parts of the world that people might think are relatively similar to the United States, the speech laws are draconian.
So, I mean, that's the difference. The difference between the two men is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
And actually, Elon could be Prime Minister in the UK because of his heritage.
It'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Well, I don't know.
I'll tell you what, my claim to fame, Richard, is that Elon Musk retweeted me. I mean, that is my, I mean, can you
When was
honestly, well, a year ago, I think. Something
right,
like that.
okay.
Before I binned off my X account, to be honest with you, because I got
Yeah.
absolutely sick to death of the trolls.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got to tell you, X has its good points, but it's also has its down points as well. Right, guys and girls, I think that is it for the evening. I've thoroughly enjoyed that. We've had fairly decent audience all night tonight, Richard, just
Yeah, good
hovering
people as
underneath
well.
the 2,000 mark.
I didn't see any trolls, so I didn't think we got any trolls. We didn't get any trolls, but no doubt.
Well,
we'll
we've
get some
got Claire
kickback.
and Ian in there, you know, doing
Yeah.
their job, doing
Oh,
their
they do
bit.
great.
They're on the front line with their sniper rifles, and if
That's it,
anyone
just taking
pops
them
their
out.
head over the,
Straight in the mince pie.
it's like
Straight through the
whack-a-mole,
eye. Straight through the eye. You know.
isn't it? Whack-a-mole. Troll. Get
That's
some
it.
of that.
Just smash them. Yep.
That's
Yep.
it. That's it.
Zero tolerance on the trolls. Like, it's absolutely
Yes.
zero tolerance. Any trolls pop up on my channel, they get vaporized straight away.
Right, mate, I'm off. I've got
Yes.
to go tonight because my wife
Guys,
has lost her voice, and
Thanks
I don't
everyone
want to
for
miss
watching.
it.
Remember,
right,
before we go, Counter Media, get onto the Counter Media UK YouTube channel, subscribe, and if you're really daring, become a member and see all the video nasties I put up for the members.
Grifter, you grifter Inman. Get over there and join up on Richard's channel. He deserves it, bless him. Go and sign up, become a member. For God's
Let's
sake.
get, up to six, let's get 6 members by the end of the day.
I was going to say, can we get 6 members before midnight? Right, love to everyone. Take care. We will see you soon then. As always, make sure you look after those beautiful children. They're the ones that count, right? See you all soon.